Hey people, what's good? Mount Let the Hellfire. This is the third entry in the Mini Draco customization series. I stopped putting that naming convention in the title of the videos. I'm still learning the algorithm and how to drive impressions, click-throughs, and views. I, of course, do not do this for my own health. I want the information to be educational, informative, useful, and actually seen above all, right? In this stage, or this entry, I'll show you how to install the JMAC Custom MMS Handguard, or Modular Mounting System Handguard for the Mini Draco. It'll be the 5.63-inch, the so-called optimized set that includes the lower handguard, the replacement railed gas tube, and the free-floating attachment hardware for the upper and lower portion of the handguard set. The handguard set costs $340 before tax and shipping. And then I also bought this smaller HRD1. I think they were including them for a discount. I forget how much this was additional for it, but these parts are $340 together. I need to get this unpacked, obviously, and then we could wait and talk a little bit more, so bear with me and I'll zoom through that. All right, now I'm just going to weigh all this together with its hardware just to get a rough weight together because they don't have that. 7.7 ounces, and in surrender units, that would be 220 grams. I'll weigh the wood handguard at the end just to get you the idea of a diff, but, you know, that's not that much. The handguard with the bolt is 5.5 pound or 5.5 ounces rather, and then in surrender units it is, come on fucker, 158 grams. So honestly, you only pick up like 2.5 ounces going with the MMS. So a bit on how the MMS works, or the modular mounting system works. So your entire gas tube is replaced with this railed portion, and the upper attachment point indexes into the rear sight block as shown. So there's this little notch that'll go back towards the rear sight block when you mount these two pieces together. The lower handguard has its own attachment point, which indexes to the front of the receiver. In front of the front trunnion, there isn't a tab or anything that goes in the receiver, but it seats up on the rear sight block a bit. Then the two assemblies mate together by bolting the lower handguard into the railed gas tube to kind of give you that free float configuration. This is different than something like my Zastava M70 extended M-Lock handguard, which had cross-bolted clamps that clamped on and over the barrel, and it doesn't index in the receiver either. Now, while the accuracy benefits might not be as pronounced as a AR-15 with a quality free float system like a Knights Armament URX, a Geisley SMR, Daniel Defense, RIS-2, RIS-3, and similar barrel nut rail mounting configs. The benefit is primarily for heat for the AK, because the AK barrels, you know, for their caliber and their size are, you know, thin profile. Not all of them are thin profile, but, you know, comparable to an AR, they can be. And all the parts are in contact to each other due to either being riveted together or pressed together or both, right? So that lends itself to thermal conductivity. And that's why the handguards are thicker, heavier woods, sometimes with or without aluminum heat shields as well. Keeps these parts from, you know, becoming a heat sink because it's kind of off of the barrel. But they do hold their zero. A lot of people like JMAC stuff. There are people out there, of course, with issues as well, so take it with a grain of salt. I won't be mounting any optics to this. I'll have an AK master mount that I'll install in a different video and use the AK master mount, well, mount to actually put on a little cheap primary arms red dot, and then eventually I'll swap out for EXPS, a EOTech, and probably put a maul on this just to be a bit of an asshole, honestly. So to put this together, you're just going to need a couple bits. So the only thing that you need for this, if you're not going to use the included keys, are a 7/64 and a 9/64. And then to take the actual wood handguard off of the Draco, where it's bolted into the front sight gas block, you're going to need a 5/32 obviously with a torque limiter, like one of these from Fix-It Sticks or a wheel or fat wrench or anything else that could apply torque, and then a couple of wrenches, right, to actually do that. And then I have feeler gauges because there is a gap that you'd want to measure, or at least make sure is mostly even. They didn't give it's when you bolt mate the lower and upper assemblies of the handguard set together. JMAC doesn't provide what that gap should be. I guess it varies from handguard to handguard set, so I'll attempt to at least get a good reading with the feeler gauges, or at least eyeball it to make sure that it is level. So overall, to install, first we're going to disassemble the Mini Draco, right, just like a regular AK. We're going to remove the lower handguard, which I mentioned requires that 5/32 bit. It's bolted up into the front sight gas block. The first portion that you install is a railed gas tube, then you install the lower handguard and you mate them together, right? But before doing that, you want to install the upper mount to the railed gas block and then install the lower mount to the, well, handguard. You don't need a vise for this installation at all because, you know, the gun's light and you're going to be twisting around. But if you want to ensure that there's alignment and good seating, you know, you could also use a small rubber mallet to like make sure that everything has good contact and whatnot. So with that overall step in mind, I will see you at the vise. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention before what all this stuff is made out of. So the lower mount is made out of 7075 hard coat anodized aluminum. The upper mount is made from 4041 QPK black nitrided steel. The lower handguard extrusion is made from 6061 hard coat anodized. And then the gas tube section is 7075 hard coat anodized aluminum. So the first thing you need to do is disassembling the AK. Disassembly of an AK is easy. Make sure the weapon is cleared. Remove the dust cover, recoil spring assembly, buffer block within the Mini Draco, and then pull out the bolt carrier group. And then you're going to lift the latch right here on the rear sight gas block, on the rear sight block rather, to unlock the gas tube and get rid of the gas tube. And then we'll get out our 5/32, and then we'll take the lower wooden handguard off. And then, you know, maybe save this if you wanted to restain it, reinstall it, or if you wanted to convert this back to a retro look, or, you know, whatever it is, right? So we'll go ahead and do that. And bolt right here. All right, to assemble the upper portion of the MMS, first you want to attach the upper mount to the railed gas block. When attaching, ensure that the tab is facing towards you or facing in towards the rear sight block. The flat surfaces should make a complete contact and not be leaning to one side or another. And when you're installing the bolts, ensure that you apply forward pressure and install them in an X pattern, first until they stop, and then go back and hand tighten them, reconfirm with the torque wrench. This part uses the 9/64 hex bit. It should be torqued between 20 and 25 inch-pounds. The torque value doesn't specify if it's what or not, but go ahead and apply Loctite at this point if you would, and we'll go ahead and demonstrate that. Then it should mount as such, right, with that tab facing you. And then you want to make sure that you're applying pressure forward. So my Fix-It Stick torque limiter doesn't actually fit in there, so I'm going to just use the long end to put torque down until the wrench starts to bend. Should be good. All right, so now you have that. Now for the next part, you need your 9/64. Right, and obviously the torque limiter will fit in this. What you're going to want to do is slide in the mount, you know, pretty simply. And you could kind of start to see how this is going to go together, right? Where this part is going to mate up. Need a little bit of Loctite, or you could use a Loctite that was provided. Oops, I always do that. It's okay, clean this up. And then you actually don't want to torque these down super tight. You just get them started by hand. And we'll tie the FN torque. So now, there's a double top. And we'll tie the torque. It's all good. Nice. So I'm going to this. And the other side. Barely, but some up. Just be right there. Alright, so there should be a little bit of flex. And then just wipe off any excess Loctite that came through. Alright, so the first part that you install is this rail gas tube, the upper assembly part. Alright, this installs like a regular gas tube. Comes on over the top. And then might give a little bit of a problem, so I would just cheat with a crescent wrench. Alright, and then now that that's in, the next thing we want to do is install this assembly. Like I mentioned, there's going to be an interface between this notch and over here, so it'll be a little bit of a gap. But the bottom of this mount should be flush with the bottom of the receiver. Alright, so now we want to get the little mounting screws and then keep your 9/64ths. Yeah. Maybe get a tiny bit of thread locker on this boy, or a lot. You think I would learn to stop doing that, but whatever. And then we're going to come up underneath here. And you just want to get them barely started, where he's starting to bite in. And then we'll do the same over here and put a little bit of thread locker, or a lot of thread locker. And then, excuse me while I fuck around with this camera angle. Okay, please. No problem. You want 25 inch-pounds, 20 to 25. And that's 25. All right, at this point, the MMS is fully installed. There are some other attachments, such as a Picatinny mount that mounts in here and will hover over the rear sight block and attaches into the upper assembly or the lower assembly. If you wanted to run an optic above the rear sight block and then keep this clear for an M-file or a lamb. There's also an M-lock mount for a QD swivel that's meant to mount over the top to provide a, or to block your hand from touching the built-in, well, not a swivel stud, but you know what I'm talking about. I couldn't think of the name before, but the sling loop on the AK, right? And then it provides some rigidity, but that's for these super long handguards. And then lastly, JMAC has a few other types of AFGs and barricade stops to install, but there's not the most amount of, mount space here. I mean, it's just two rails, right? Like you get a light, maybe you could put a key G or put a pick rail and then side mount a lamb on here. At this point, leave the gun alone for 24 hours to allow the Loctite to cure. Remember that heat does cause it to loosen up, so rapid firing and longer sustained schedules of fire will likely loosen this mount over time. So make it a habit to paint mark and then recheck tightness, right? Every time you put a bunch of rounds down range. That's all I had for you today, folks. Hopefully this helps you install your JMAC MMS onto your Mini Draco. As always, I hope you folks are taking care of each other and yourselves. I know a couple dudes who went down with militia groups and volunteers into Tennessee and to the Western Carolinas to help with, just to be with people, search and rescue, providing tax support, looter prevention in certain cases, right? Like there's a couple spots where like it's real sketchy. And that's the type of community building I love to see. Dudes are running private helo fleets. They're running drone swarms. They're participating in SAR operations. There are two that I know of public tax servers that is used to coordinate SAR and cross-department and cross-group communications and command and control. That's awesome. these natural disasters and their after effects will take years to recover from. You know, there's tens of billions of dollars worth in damages incurred after it's all said and done between all the infrastructure and then op costs that's lost. And we're still not done with hurricane season, not to mention, you know, the winter coming up. And it might be pretty brutal, I think, because we've had a lot of mild winters, at least here in the East Coast. So, you know, stock up on supplies, have a plan, you know, to either volunteer in your local community, to be able to help out your neighbors and to be able to self-rescue as needed. Don't neglect yourself either, man. You know, go check out an Orthodox church, or maybe you go check out some other community. There's other men's groups. There's places where you can meet dudes at, where you can meet like-minded folks, or you can meet even like-minded females, yeah? I don't know if any females watch this channel, but, you know, you don't have to be in a dating app or whatnot. I think all of that goes together, right? Community, but it starts with your family unit, right? Whether you're a single dude and you don't want to be single anymore, whether you have a couple kids, a wife, and whatnot. But, you know, things are continually getting bad out there, man. So you need somebody to talk through that's been through some shit. You know, not to say that I've seen and done a bunch of stuff, but don't hesitate to reach out to me. Anyway, I'll see you folks on the next one. Outlet the Hellfire.